welcome everybody to the Magic Beans podcast. We are back again for episode number 69.
Nice.
I'm your host tonight. Thought we were going to get away with not saying it, but Chewy's ruined the intro. I'm your host. My name is Shorty, and yes, I have Chewy on the line. How's it going, mate?
I've had a nice day. How about you, mate?
It's been pretty good. And we also have Cracker. How's it going, Cracker?
I'm well, thanks, buddy.
Very professional tonight, all grown up and mature. And,
well, yeah, someone's got to counteract the nonsense. There's a reason I've got the angry emoji.
Yeah.
Cracker's like the dad of the beans, right?
I don't know how. I'm not even the oldest one.
You're the most mature.
Yes.
It's not about age in chronological terms.
I was going to say you're the tallest, but I think Chris is taller than you.
Chris is definitely much taller than me.
Yes. I know for sure I am the shortest. That is 100%. So that's fine. All right, so yeah, plenty to talk about tonight. As we say every week, we've got a whole sort of mixed bag on the show notes tonight. There's lots of little bits and pieces and things going on. So yeah, we'll be getting into all that tonight. But before we do get into that, Cracker, do you want to tell us about our awesome sponsors?
Yeah, Josh and Pat's MTG Bazaar. They are a Facebook auction page. They run nightly auctions for sweet physical Magic cards, which we're starting to seem like we get to touch again, which is pretty exciting. So drop past there. You can throw some bids on and buy some sweet cards. You can get really good value and let them know that the beans sent you.
Very good. All right, so the first thing on the docket for tonight, which we've spoken about on a couple of previous podcasts, and we sort of went into it a decent amount on the last one, is Time Spiral Remastered. So that actually releases this weekend, I believe, although I haven't actually had confirmation that stores even have stock in Australia, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's being delayed, but supposedly the set is releasing this weekend, and they're doing pre-releases, which is pretty cool. They sort of tend to do these for the Master sets. I know I've gone and drafted like Modern Masters. I think like the second one when that came out, that was good fun. I opened a Vendilion Click. I was happy with that.
Nice.
Value.
Yeah,
Very
can't
good.
complain. So yeah, they tend to do these pre-release weekends for these Masters sets. And yeah, looking at Facebook a couple of days ago, it looked like stores in Australia are actually running them. But I'm not too sure about other countries. So Wizards have actually come out and said they're going to run official Wizards pre-releases through Spell Table. So I know you guys have tinkered with Spell Table before. That's where you guys have played a little bit of Commander?
Yeah,
we did.
A little bit early on in Spell Table's life cycle, though. I think it's...
and
had
that
a
was
bit of
before
development.
WotC took it over, actually, was the last time I used it.
Yeah, okay.
So do we think it's gotten better or worse since WotC's taken over?
Both simultaneously?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can that be both at the same time? Yes,
Yeah.
it can. Cracker, what is Spell Table if people have never heard of it before?
So it's a website that you can stream into. So the idea is that you have like either a webcam or your phone they've set up now, so you can basically play your physical Magic cards on your desk in front of you, and then you present that up on screen and everyone else can see what's going on. It's got some really neat features when they work, so hopefully they all work, where it will actually use like image detection to see what the card is, and you can actually like hover over rules text and things like that. So like it's pretty good, and it also tracks life totals and things like that. And with Commander, it was tracking like commander damage for things. So it's kind of just a step up from doing it in Skype or Discord. It's the same basic idea where you can chat to your opponent and, just play like a regular game of Magic with the physical Magic cards, because obviously the Time Spiral set is not coming to Arena.
Yeah, it's a great concept. Yeah, it's sad that it's not an Arena, but yeah, Spell Table's a great concept in that sense, because it, with everything that's going on in the world at the moment, and just the people wanting to play with friends that may live in a different town or state or even country. It's a great initiative, and yeah, as you said, the functionality when it works is actually really, really good, and it makes it really easy to play those games with friends at a responsible distance. So it's a thing. I love it.
Responsible being on the other side of the world. In some cases.
Exactly.
Yep. One of the other things I liked about it, I know you guys sort of when it first came out and played a couple of games of Commander, you can actually spectate the matches as well. So you can have 4 people playing a game, and you could jump in and just be a spectator and just view the game and watch it and see what's going on. So I think that'll be pretty cool for this sort of event. Wizards are running, they've got a Discord set up, so you can get on there and arrange your matches and join the match queues and all that sort of stuff. But it's going to work effectively the same as any other pre-release would. You get yourself 6 packs, which obviously you'll need to purchase yourself from your local card store or whatever. And yeah, you crack your packs and build your seal pool. Obviously, there is the potential for people cheating and things like that, which is always an issue at pre-release anyway. But when you're able to just sit at home and build your pools, it definitely has that open for abuse there, which is...
It's probably why there are no prizes or anything attached to it.
Yeah,
right?
So it's just a fun... It's like, okay, yeah, good on you. You cheated and you went 4-0 in this event that you get nothing for. Good on you.
If you are somebody that cheats at a pre-release in general, or cheats in one of these events, one day when you walk outside and you see your poor beloved family cat hit by a car, that's what happens when you do things like that, people. So don't cheat, because it's just not worth it.
Because your cat will get killed.
Exactly. Exactly.
Shorty's going to come and shove it in an oven.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's good.
Bring it back again.
Sorry, you probably can't tell that I feel pretty strongly about cheating, but cheating at that sort of event, oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's just so scummy.
How is that fun? And just remove yourself from the Magic community.
Yeah.
I feel very strongly about this. Where's my soapbox?
You cheated a pre-release and you might get a couple of extra packs, but whoop-de-doo, wow, you got $10 of extra value. Good on you. You've ruined someone's night.
Exactly.
But it's just dumb. So, like Chewy said, don't do it. And it would be nice if you just removed yourself from the Magic community instead. That would be great. So yeah, that's happening this weekend. You can find all that info on the Wizards side. If you just Google Time Spiral Remastered pre-release, you'll find links for it. I heard today that CFB are actually running some stuff as well. So if you're in the Channel Fireball Discord, you'll be able to get information from that as well. And there's probably other people. I think there might be some stores that are running them for just their stores. And yeah, it's a cool concept. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it goes. It might be something that becomes more commonplace going forward, and especially if the client works really well and they sort of iron out all the bugs. So we'll see how that goes.
To see how it copes with huge amounts of load, right? You're inviting thousands of people on. Yeah.
Yep. All at the same time.
Hypothetical question, the briefest of tangents. What's he taking this over? Maybe one day we get to paper premier events, like a Mythic Championship, Pro Tour, whatever they're called. Do you think that Spell Table could become part of coverage? Like they've had the Cardboard Live app and things like that over the journey. Do you think with Watsy taking this over, to be part of their plan that all of the functionality that we've just discussed could be built into coverage?
I would hope so.
Yeah,
me too.
It's pretty handy. It's
one of the
always
best things
been a problem
about Arena,
with paper
right?
coverage. Yeah.
Well, particularly when you come into a game halfway through and you look at this complicated board state and you're trying to pass it and you're like, what's that card? I can't remember because they've got a Judge promo art or something like that.
And
you can't
easily
tell it.
Sleeves or whatever.
It's an Armanked expedition or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
And you have no idea what's going on.
So, I would love it if that was a thing where I could hit Twitch, see, a couple of pros playing and then hover over the cards and get the, gatherer information or whatever. That'd be unreal.
Yeah.
What would be even better is the Scryfall information.
Well, yeah, I was going to say that, but then I realised that if it's a Watsy thing, they probably use
Gatherer.
There was
a
Scryfall
open
on
the historic format.
I'll have Scryfall open in another tab to get the actual.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've spoken about paper coverage before, that it's always been a problem, like you said, where you just can't follow what's going on and you can't see the cards and read the cards.
This would be an improvement, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely a very big step.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah, I think you might be onto something there, Chewy. Although
when it happens, I'm going to claim it as my idea. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Who knows when we will actually see high-level paper tournaments again? I'm tipping probably not this year, and maybe not next year. Who knows? So yeah, but hopefully that gives them plenty of time to iron out the bugs and make it into a even better system. So
yeah, think about how good they could make it with all of this time.
Yeah. Yep. We will keep an eye on that, and if it does come out, then yeah, we'll claim that as a magic beans idea from everyone's favourite host, Chewy, apparently.
You heard it here first.
I haven't told you this. I'll tell you this on air.
Oh, tangent time.
Someone donate their Josh and Pat's voucher to the best bean, being you, Chewy.
Oh, really? How good's that?
Yes.
I got a
medium
just a little pat on the back.
I've got an auction I got to pay for actually. So
yeah.
Actually, do you know why I need that voucher? It's because it happened again this week. Because my wife outbid me on a card.
Nice.
So she saw that I was winning the bid and just put an extra $1 on it. She, gave me the laugh react. Here's an extra. But I mean, this is the sort of bargains you can get on Josh and Pat's. I got a foil expedition map for $2. So any
seems good.
Commander
any Tron players out there, or Eldrazi,
exactly.
Eldrazi Tron,
yep. Commander players, whatever it might be, expedition map for $2 as a foil. So I'll take it.
Very good. All right, so something else that we didn't get a chance to talk about on the last podcast because nobody even knew it was coming at the time is Historic Anthology number 4. So we've seen these happen, obviously, 4 times now, seeing as this is Historic Anthology number 4, where Wizards almost out of nowhere just go, hey, in a week and a half's time, these cards are getting released onto Arena. And they are released directly into the historic format. So it's a way for them to inject new cards or reprint cards into the historic format. They're meant to spark, more creative deck building and new options for archetypes and things like that, or add a little bit of power to ones that are lacking, or add answer cards and things like that. So that's the theory on why we get these. Cracker, I don't know if you got the card list up there. Do you want to take us through what's actually in this set?
Yeah, for sure. So there's only 25 cards, and you can buy them for 4,000 gems or 25,000 gold. And the bundles are only available for a couple of months. So they've done this in the past, which is a choice that they make. And then you can just you can either spend your gold and buy them all, or you can then go out and just spend your wild cards instead if you don't get them in time.
Which is it's not a bad price. 25,000 gold is not that hard to get. You get a play set of them, and it's 25 cards, and there's a bunch of rares and mythics and stuff in there. So it's actually not a bad price. Whether or not it's worth it for this set is another question.
Yeah, I don't know. There's some cards in here that are interesting, but I don't know that I want all of them. So there's Triumphant Reckoning, that wonderful 9-mana white spell that everybody knows.
It's going to see heaps of play.
Yep. It's going to see none of play. The next card is actually legitimately good. Declaration in Stone, which is... It saw a fair bit of play in its time in the Shadows over Innistrad block. It's a exile target creature, and all creatures its controller controls with the same name as that creature. That player investigates for each non-token creature exiled this way. So, particularly good against token decks because they don't get the value of getting... what was it? Clue tokens?
Yes.
Yeah, you get a clue. Yeah, which is pay 2 mana. It's an artifact. Yeah, pay 2 mana, sack it. You get a draw a card.
Yeah. So look, that one's for a fair bit of play. I think that's probably worth the inclusion. I mean, given that they're not going to give us Path to Exile or Swords to Plowshares or anything in Historic at this stage. 2 mana, I mean, sorcery speed, but it's kind of unconditional creature removal, which is all right. There's Thraben Inspector.
I'm excited about Thraben Inspector. I think
it's actually a good card.
Yeah.
It really shores up like a mono white aggro deck. It's white for a 1/2, and it brings a clue token as well.
It's like they're giving, trying to give white a boost because, if you've looked at any...
Are they though? They put a 9-mana sorcery in. I'm not sure that cool.
They've got a premium 1-drop and a premium removal spell.
That's true.
Yeah. So
that's right.
And a card with cool art. That's fine.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah. But the Thraben Inspector, the mono white aggro deck was already a thing in Historic, and now it's got, probably the best 1 mana white creature printed in the last 10 years, right?
It was one of those cards that when you first read it, it's it's just a 1 mana 1/2 and you get a clue, whatever. And it wasn't until people actually played with it that you realised, oh, hang on, this is one of the best creatures in the set. Yep. It's actually really good. And it went in a whole bunch of different decks and was used for a bunch of different reasons.
It's hilarious.
One of which being that it creates an artifact for other, like in those sets, there was a lot of artifact synergies, or if you had an artifact, it pumped your creatures and things like that. And then just being able to like be a decent blocker. It's a 1/2 as a blocker, so that's good against your mono reds and things like that. And then when it dies, well, you still got the clue sitting there, and you can just recover it later on when you got a spare 2 mana.
Well,
so
one of the biggest issues with mono white
good.
aggressive decks was running out of gas, and this gave you something to do with your mana after turn 4, and reloaded your hand post removal spell sweeper or whatever. So yeah, there's a lot of different axes that this card is good on. So. Yeah.
I've seen people playing around putting it into Lurrus decks already, which makes a lot of sense as a good home.
Perfect.
So white cards, there's Adorned Pouncer, which is a 1/1 with double strike for 2.
Oh, we can put that into Godfarer's Gift, Shorty. It's got double strike. I don't think it makes Godfarer's Gift a good deck again, but yeah.
There's Spider Spawning, is Innistrad Draft All-Star.
Yep.
Think Twice.
I've got a lot of nostalgia attached to that card.
It has the best words in Magic.
Draw a card.
Draw a card.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I played a lot of Think Twice. Yeah. Yep. Very good.
Merit Lage's Slumber, which is a thing you can eventually... It's an enchantment that you can eventually turn into a Merit Lage token, which is something you can try and do, I guess.
A 2020 flying indestructible token.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. You need 10 or more snow permanents at the beginning of your upkeep, and then you get to trigger that thing.
Which is a lot more viable now than it was when this card was first printed.
So, that is actually true.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it came out it looks like it's the...
it was in Modern Horizons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which had snow
Astrolabe's
stuff.
in Historic now, isn't it?
No, because it's Modern Horizons.
No.
But you've just got all the Kaldheim cards. So.
Yeah, you got all the Kaldheim stuff. Yep.
Iceberg Cantrix?
Cancrix?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird word.
I suppose
which is a snow creature.
Yeah, it's a crab.
Good,
I guess
good for your Merit Lage.
Kind of close to Cancer as far as the... Anyway, whatever. Then there's this Bone Splitter, which I know we've all played a bunch of back in the day.
Yep, play that
1
in
mana,
Pauper.
+2/+0, equip for 1.
Yep.
Good, not broken card. Goblin Gavalier, 1/1 with trample, gets buffed with equipment. A sword, sadly not the best sword.
This
sword's
probably the worst sword.
What? No way. This sword's gas. It's mills your opponent out, and when they would have been coding this, think about 2 months ago, what Historic looked like 2 months ago, before the last tranche of bannings. This card was being printed as an answer to the Uro decks.
By milling
by fueling the
Uros.
But
I mean, it's got protection from green and blue. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
No, so, it's not the worst sword, but it's not.
Let them have a 6/6. You only need to
ice.
hit them 3 times and they're dead because they've milled their library, right? So
sure.
Yeah, and you just block the 6. You block the Uro with your 2/2. Easy game.
2/2.
Yeah. Read the card.
3/3.
Read the card.
Oh, you block it with the
wolf
wolf.
token.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay, then there's some cycling payoffs, which is interesting. So there's Faith of the Devoted, which is an enchantment. I don't think that one will see any play. Flameblade Adept might.
This card's seen a fair bit of play in Modern.
It has.
In the Hollow One deck, right?
In the Hollow One decks, yeah. Well, and Hollow One is actually legal in Historic.
In Historic.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm interested in seeing what takes you could do on a heavier creature base.
Do you want to read that one, Chewy?
Cycling deck.
What, sorry? Flameblade Adept?
Yeah.
Yep, okay. It's a 1 mana 1/2 red creature. It's a Jackal Warrior. Warrior creature type may or may not be relevant. It has Menace, and it says, whenever you cycle or discard a card, Flameblade Adept gets +1/+0 until end of turn. So it can hit really hard, really early in the game, particularly in Modern where you've got free cyclers. But if you've got, there's a lot of cycling cards have been printed, in Amonkhet where we saw this, but then in more recent sets as well. There's a current cycling deck in Standard, for example. So this might be enough to make the Flourishing Fox, Drannith Stinger archetype viable in Historic, because you've got another hard-hitting 1-drop apart from the Fox.
I mean, the difference in the games of cycling when you play a Fox on turn 1 and then get to cycle twice on turn 2
Yeah,
right?
Wild No Cuddle's a good card,
obviously,
yeah.
your Fox is getting +1/+1 counters, which is clearly a big difference. But this thing having menace and just getting in
it just being 1 drop 5 through to 8 is powerful in itself. So
yeah, obviously the downside is that like the Fox itself has cycling. This doesn't. It's just the payoff. So
I still definitely worth testing in that deck.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep, I like it. What's the next one? Torment of Scarabs.
It's a curse.
Is Witchbane
no
Orb?
play.
Is Witchbane Orb in legal in historic?
Who knows?
At the beginning of Enchanted players upkeep, that player loses 3 life unless they sacrifice a non-land permanent or discards a card. Okay. I don't think that seems played. Maybe that's a draft archetype card, perhaps, but yeah. Not too excited about that one. There's some good elves, though.
There is. So is it Lis Alana, Huntmaster?
Yeah.
I think is how you pronounce it. 4 mana for a 3/3. Whenever you cast an elf spell, you may create a 1/1 elf warrior token.
Lorwyn Draft All-Star, that one.
Yeah, I remember that one.
That was, it could take over the game really quickly. Obviously, you'd want to go Imperious Perfect into Lis Alana Huntsmaster. That was the curve.
Yep.
Yeah. What's the other one? There's a gold card there, Cracker.
Abomination of Llanowar. Speaking of Llanowar, there is a legendary creature elf horror. It has vigilance and menace, and its power and toughness are equal to the number of elves you control plus the number of elves in your graveyard. So, elves have not been a thing really in historic, right? They've just been overshadowed by the goblins.
Goblin decks, yeah.
But there's a lot now, and also with all of the changelings that we've got.
Yeah, the 3/4 that lets you play things off the top of your deck is an interesting space as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, and elves is just such a common creature type that they're just going to be in almost every set. So it's just going to be one of those tribes that eventually we're going to get one more card and all of a sudden it's like, oh, yep, okay, elves is broken in historic and it's just everywhere. So
yeah, we just need Archdruid and Azuri.
No, we do not. There's a couple of colours cards here I'm pretty pumped about.
What do you got there, Chew?
Cold Steel Heart is a card that I have played a bunch of back in Cold Snap Standard. And, with all of the snow things that are coming out of Kaldheim, the enchantment, the Marit Lage enchantment we saw earlier, they're pushing that archetype in, with a solid 2-mana accelerator / colour fixer, which is pretty amazing. And, Blinkmoth Nexus, cheap to activate evasive creature lands. This.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, since its inception, back in the first Mirrodin block, this has been a card that's seen play in a lot of formats, including Modern. It's a something that has worn many bone splitters and swords and other equipment along the way. So
cranial platings.
Absolutely.
GTAs.
Yeah, you name it. Absolutely. So, I think as an enabler for an archetype, I think this could be a sort of a key player in, I don't know what the deck looks like, mate, like a mono red or a blue red artifacts deck, aggressive deck with, like Bomat Couriers and the like. This could just be, similar to what you just said with the Elf deck, Shorty, just needs that one card to make the archetype viable. This could be that. I'm not saying it is, but it could be that for a deck to sort of, rise to be a, contender in that format. And it's
really nice as like, if you're an artifact-based deck, like a equipment deck, you post sweeper can, activate this and get in for those last few points of damage. It's not usually going to deal 20 to someone, but it'll often deal the last like 5 or something like that. Because
do you know what I'm looking forward to with this, Cracker? There's a whole bunch
of Nexus.
No. They should not print that on Arena.
I was worried you were going to say that. No. I was like, what's wrong with you?
So with Blinkmoth Nexus, in the formats that you're playing with that, you're normally playing with quite enfranchised players because Modern's an expensive format to get into. But on Arena, there's probably players out there that only have played the game on Arena, so they don't know about the pumping itself thing. And there's just an opportunity to get them.
The block pump.
And it's going to be one of those things that, it's probably not going to happen, but there's now new potential for that to happen because, if the card's been around for so long and people are so used to it in paper, at modern events that, nobody play, no one walks into that anymore. They did back in the day. Now there's going to be new people. Maybe some more people can get into it and, a few
new people to own.
Yeah. And it'll just, lessons to learn, which is good. Read the card. But for, old people, older players like myself, just, I don't know. I still remember the first time I got someone with that. It was like, oh, I thought I got you. Like, no, got you.
Also pumps your changelings if you need to.
Very interesting. I like it.
All right. The other artifact you got there is Inspiring Statuary, which is 3 mana for an artifact. Non-artifact spells you cast have improvised, which means you can tap artifacts to pay for the generic mana costs in the spells. This card was part of the Paradoxical Outcome combo deck, where you're replaying a whole bunch of 0 mana artifacts a bunch of times, and then you pick them all up with your Paradoxical Outcomes, and then replay them all again and draw a bunch of cards and win with, what was the one where every spell you cast you gain
Reservoir.
Yeah, it's the one, and then you pay
deal 50 life and
damage. Deal 50 damage.
I remember standing behind
sounds
you.
Impossible, but it's very
it happens.
quick,
No, I remember standing behind Shorty at Nats. My match had finished, and he was playing against this deck, and I was like,
Ollie Ox actually
that's
playing
right.
that deck.
Yeah, and I'd not seen the deck in action before, and I instantly fell in love. It was very, very cool.
Dirtily artifact deck with a combo finish.
Surprise, Chewy likes
singing
it.
my song.
So there's a few more cards there, Cracker. What else have we got in the list? They're not really...
there's Amit Eternal, which is a 3 mana 5/5. It's got some downsides. I don't know what else to say about that. It's the zombie crocodile demon creature type, which everybody expects.
I can't wait to just build that tribal commander deck. Yeah, absolutely. Zombie crocodile demons. Yeah.
I mean, I do have a zombie
heaps of them
deck.
getting around.
Yep.
There's Hamaza, Guardian of Arishan. The confidence in that one. It's a 6 mana 5/5 legendary creature, elf warrior. I guess they're putting
Elephant
things
warrior.
in. I'll just say elf. My bad. It is most
Yes,
definitely
that is
not an elf.
Not an elf.
It's a +1/+1 counters commander.
Yeah.
There are 3 cards that don't make any sense.
Yep.
In the set at all.
They're put into the miscellaneous category apparently, which makes sense because they don't make any sense.
I think they're in the miscellaneous category in most people's collections as well.
Yeah. Look, I mean, Harmless Offering was a thing people tried to make for a while with one
Demonic
of the
Pact. Yeah.
Demonic Pact.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's probably something you can do. Is Demonic Pact in Historic?
Yeah.
It is, right?
Yep.
Okay. And then Shorty, the last card.
Yes, the last card. Yes. What is it?
Death Shadow.
Yes.
Is it going to be good?
Probably not.
Yeah, okay.
So if you don't know what Death Shadow is, it is a single black for a 13/13. Whoa! Amazing value there, but it also has Death Shadow gets -X, where X is your life total. So you need your life total to be 12 or less, otherwise when you cast this dude, it just dies. Which in Modern, I have played an absolute ton of. Really enjoy playing this deck, all different variants of it. And yeah, you just spend a lot of time killing yourself so that you can play your Death Shadows early and have them being big. But in Historic, we don't have fetch lands. That's the big thing in Modern. You can pay 1 for your fetch land and get a shock land.
We've got shock lands and Thought Seizers and stuff.
So you got shock lands, you got Thought Seize. You've also got the Bolt lands from Zendikar, the ones you can pay 3 life for to
like the Shadow
put them in
Skull
play
smashings.
untapped.
And Agadeem's Awakening rebuys your Death Shadows.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
We need Street Wraith.
Yeah, you really need to be able to fetch up a shock land so you can fix your mana and deal damage to yourself.
Yeah, it's good synergy.
Yeah, so it has the potential. I've seen some lists getting around, people playing even just in mono black, but playing with off-color shocks and things like that to just damage yourself a bunch of time. It looks okay, but I don't know how good it's going to be, but I'm keen to see what other people come up with, and if it turns out to be good, then I'll be crafting them.
Nice. You guys gonna buy it?
I think I will.
Probably not.
Yeah, I might.
I don't think there's enough value in there. There's not enough good cards that I actually want to use.
I think there's with I mean, I can just craft Thraben Inspectors with my infinite.
Yeah, they're commons.
Yeah, But
like the rares that I would want would, you might want some Declaration in Stone, but you almost never play 4 of that.
Yeah.
I think the sword could be good.
But even the swords, you might craft a couple of
2.
them. You're probably not going to play 4.
And the
Nexus
thing.
You want 4 of. But yeah, maybe.
Yep, Nexus you want 4. If you're playing the Inspiring Statuary deck, you're going to want 4 of that. And then, Death Shadow, you might want 4 of that. So if you're
maybe
interested in playing those decks, then yeah, sure, get it. But I don't think I will. Yep.
No, well, I think this is a really good thing, these anthologies into Historic, because thinking back to other discussions we've had, both on the cast and just in general, when we've talked about, formats being problems and introducing cards into those formats and worrying about, breaking standard to try and fix modern and things like that. The beauty of a digital platform is you can just release things like this to patch up gaps or prop up things.
Spice up a format.
Yeah. So I think these are really good in that. Like, you get that normal churn where they're printing good cards anyway in new sets, and so formats get shaken up anyway. But it tells us that they're paying attention to the format and investing, resources into it. So yeah, I think it's a good thing. It's good science for Arena Magic.
Yeah. So the one thing I have seen people complaining about, being Magic players, they're always complaining about something, is there are a few cards in here that are from Kaladesh and Amonkhet blocks, and people are kind of like, okay, well, you could have just printed them in those blocks when you did the remastered sets. Now you're putting them in this instead of putting other cards in, and you're making us pay more for them. Yeah. I can kind of understand when people are coming from that. It does seem a little bit silly, but
I can, yeah.
Magic players complain.
On that, yeah, I've been a really strong advocate of. Well, sorry, not advocate. I've been a really strong voice of like trying to say Magic players complain too much. And then I realised that I was a Magic player complaining about Magic players complaining. So
it's a vicious cycle.
It is. So it's Magic players like value, so of course they're going to look at that. So,
yep.
But this is that's a pessimistic approach. But if you look at the positives of it, there are cards here that enable new archetypes, shake up the format. So you get brewing and start, exploring those options rather than complaining about it, I think. And, once everybody gets past that initial like emotional reaction to something new, they'll get to that point and, we'll see some new decks, which is cool.
Yep. So yeah, these cards are available now. They were released on the 11th of March, so a week ago from when we're recording this. So yeah, it's already starting to see some sort of impact. But yeah, get brewing and see how the historic format is getting changed. So speaking of the historic format, there is actually an event coming up next weekend, which is the Kaldheim Championship. So this is basically the new version of the Pro Tours that we have that people can actually play in these days. It's, we've spoken about these in the past. Chewy, I don't know if you've got the details there on who's qualified and all that sort of stuff.
I don't have them, the full list.
I do. Oh, the full list of the players? I mean, there's 210, so I don't think we're going to list them all. You can view it here, but I'm not clicking that link.
Yeah, the invitation list. So, yeah, there's 210 players from the MPL Rivals League to the Magic Online qualifiers, all sorts of ways that you can qualify for this event. So, there was the qualifier weekends that were held over the last couple of months, and which are effectively, arena PTQs. So all of those have been feeding into this, and they've got a $250,000 prize pool for so there's pretty good EV. There's $250,000 worth of prizes and 210 players. So even if you come last, you still get $500. So
yep.
US. So it's pretty good for I'm not sure what time zone it is for us. Probably in the middle of the night.
Yeah, it's the middle of the night. Yeah, so it'll start on I think the Saturday night for us, or it might be the Friday night actually. Yeah, like Saturday morning. I think it starts for us. And then there's obviously 3 days of events. It's the same as when they used to run PTs in America. The time zones just never work for us. So
no, but
it's
I
just
guess,
annoying.
Yeah.
But they do the replays. Usually they'll do the live coverage, and then as soon as the live coverage ends, they put up the replay, so you can still watch it during the day.
Yep. I like the coverage team for this. There's also a couple of new faces, which is, the way that we watch, spoke about the coverage and the replay, the personalities that are on the coverage play a big part in enjoyment, whether we realise it or not. But, Riley Knight, we've spoken about him on the cast a fair bit, is great. I like Maria, I like Alias V, I like Cheon, I love Cedric Phillips, and there's a couple of new faces as well that I've not seen ever before, so I've not watched their stream or anything. So there's
I've definitely seen Manny Davudi on streams before.
Okay.
I have no idea how to say the other person's name. I guess so.
Yep.
Leave that one up to you.
At Nifet. That's just, yep. So yeah, it's they've got a lot of young, engaging, exciting. I'm sure Cedric would appreciate me calling him young. Commentators.
Probably Marshall too.
Probably Marshall. Yeah, I think they're all younger than I am. So that's yeah. That's. I think it's a good coverage team. So I can see them being entertaining and engaging as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I always watch these.
Yeah, Cracker. What are the formats for this event?
They are historic and standard. Structure. So day one. So it's a. Day one, there are 7 Swiss rounds of historic. Oh, no, sorry. There's rounds 1 to 3 is standard, and then 4 to 7 is historic. So they're splitting it. Standard kind of thing. Best of 3, Chewy, you'd be happy to know.
Well, it's real magic, so yeah.
Is it though? And then day 2 is the same. So rounds 8 to 11 is standard, and then 12 to 15 is historic. And the top 8, what is the top 8 going to be played as?
Top 8's double elimination standard.
Okay.
And they're doing the thing that they've done the last few times with this, where once you get to 12 wins, you basically drop out of the tournament. You're automatically qualified for the top 8. So it's something Wizards have been doing for a little while now, and we've definitely mentioned it before, and it's a way to kind of stop people from IDing in those last few rounds and making it really awkward for coverage. They can, if you can just keep pushing to try and get your 12th win, and then once you've got your 12th win, you're taken out of the tournament, it means the people who are left in the tournament are actually still playing to win to try and get into that top 8. So good idea, and kind of motivates people to keep playing so they can actually have good coverage continuing through the event.
Yeah, one of those things towards being an esport. One of those steps of many that are needed. But I think it's great. A double elimination on the Sunday I think is really good as well. We do that in our league, so
Yeah, we found it works good for us. Which
and you get
obviously
those
Wizards just keep watching what we're doing.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, exactly. Just keep copying us.
Yeah, but
it's a it's a really good thing to build those storylines over the day as well. So yeah, I think it's great. So I'm looking forward to this. High level Magic is always something good to watch for many reasons. It looks like it's arena, so it's good to watch. The coverage team looks exciting. There's all of the best players in the world playing for like real prizes and playing formats that are interesting. We've got Kaldheim is still a new set in everybody's mind. Plus we've just got these anthology cards put into historic. So, be interesting to see if any of those sort of make a splash.
Yep. And yeah, these are pretty important tournaments for the MPL and Rivals players as well. So, that they're not only trying for the money, but trying to secure their spots in those leagues for next year and going forward. So, yeah, this is where you really get to see that high level play, and it kind of helps to shape what the metagame is going to look like going forward. So, we'll definitely be keeping an eye on that. I'll try and watch as much of that coverage as I can. And, we'll be posting stuff in our Discord and sharing things on Twitter. So once we get metagame breakdowns and deck lists and all that sort of stuff. So keep an eye out for all of that. And, see if there's any cool new decks that come out.
Yep.
Speaking of cool new decks and things coming out, Wizards released just a little bit of information this week on Modern Horizons 2. I don't know if either of you guys have seen anything about this, but we mentioned Modern Horizons 1 a bit earlier tonight. This was a set that came out, 2 years ago now? Something like that? Maybe more?
was like 18 months ago, I think.
Something like that. And we all
Maybe
just
2
got,
years ago.
we all just got gacked. That's all I remember.
Like I was, we were preparing for the modern event before Hogak got banned when we started the cast. So
so it might have been, that's nearly 2 years ago. In a couple of months. So, yep. So the first Modern Horizons was a completely new set. It was the first set Wizards had done where they were printing directly into Modern, and it was something that we'd speculated about in the past on whether Wizards would actually do this sort of thing. We thought it was a cool idea. Unfortunately, they went a little bit too crazy, and they've had to ban a bunch of cards out of that set. But, good on them for trying. This time around, I don't know if you guys know this, but Wizards actually got in people like Brad Nelson and BBD for short-term contracts in Wizards to help design this set. So obviously they have not, they're under NDAs and all that sort of stuff. Have not said anything about the stuff that they did there, but they have said that they were working on it. So I don't know if that's a good thing. It might mean that the set's even more broken. We don't know.
What happens in Renton stays in Renton. But that point I think is an important one, Shorty, because remember they brought in this play design team, and then we got Rona Drain. So
So who knows?
Yeah.
Yep. But we don't really have much details on it. Basically, all that's been released is the set's coming out in June. And this time it's going to be a whole bunch of new cards again printed directly into Modern, but it looks like there are actually going to be some reprints because they have confirmed we are getting the enemy fetch lands. And they're getting printed at Rare, not Mythic, which is good.
Yep.
But that it helps, but it kind of doesn't in terms of bringing prices down for fetch lands. Like we always see, you go, oh sweet, it's getting reprinted, it's going to drop in price, but then the popularity just increases and the prices just go back to where they were before. So it'll be interesting to see what effect that has.
Good thing though, right? It's
definitely. Yep.
It's funny. Like I did actually see that they were coming out, and my first reaction was definitely influenced by the people trying to, having a bit of a gotcha, a bit of a prank. Every time a new set comes out, somebody puts like a Windswept Heath or a Scalding Tarn with the new set symbol on it. And it's, and I'm like, oh yeah, someone's at that again. And then I'm like, oh no, hang on. This is on the, something that's official and such. It's, I think it's great. I think it's, it'll help sell the set for sure.
Oh yeah. Big time.
Yeah. So from a marketing perspective, it's great. And, if it means that more Commander players can, have, Verdant Catacombs,
Scalding Tarns, and all that sort of stuff.
It's a good thing. Just having more of it out there is great, I think.
Yeah, definitely. So the other thing they're doing with this set, which they didn't do the last time, is they're actually doing proper pre-release kits like you would have for a normal standard set where you get it in a little box. You get your 6-packs, you get your promo, you get your dice, all that sort of stuff. So that's something cool. They don't normally do that for the supplementary sets like Time Spiral Remastered that's coming out at the moment. There's no actual pre-release kits. So that's pretty cool. I think I'll be pretty keen to actually go to that pre-release and play that one. The other thing they're doing is they're having set boosters and collector's boosters. So it's basically being treated like a standard set. It's getting the full treatment that a standard set would get. The pre-release kits are set boosters, collector's boosters, but it's not being printed into standard. It's going straight to Modern. So I think that's cool. It means, you're going to be able to crack collector's boosters and get some sweet, fancy as Scalding Tarns
and
things like that.
Art foil Scalding Tarns.
Yeah, so I can see one certain Polywaffle.
Polywaffle's got goosebumps right now, and he just doesn't know why. He's just feeling it.
Yeah. But that's
this
pretty
set
cool.
didn't need help selling.
When did they? When did
it
it
didn't
come
matter
out?
what they put in it.
When did it come out?
June.
Oh, I know what I'm asking for my birthday.
Oh yeah, that's conveniently when your birthday is.
Yeah. I'll let you guys help me open them.
Draft?
Yeah.
Can you draft
Sounds
collector's boosters?
Sure.
I mean, I don't know.
Rochester draft them? Yeah, I don't know.
It's just like Cube.
It's exactly like Cube. Yeah. That's very cool. I love a collector's booster. I've never bought like a box of collector's boosters, but I've randomly bought some, and like I bought one for you for Christmas, Shorty, and they are very fun.
Got an Expedition Polluted Delta.
Yeah, yep. And so we might see some. Oh no, we might be some some fancy enemy fetches. So, even if it's a marsh flats, I'll be happy with that. So,
I mean, we know 100% we're all going to be somewhere together, and Chris is just going to turn up and just drop boxes in front of us and go, here you go, crack all these open. and we'll just sit there for half an hour all cracking these boosters and sorting them all out for him. Cause
with a smile ear to ear.
That's what he does.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm sure we will crack some of this product at some point, and it will be a joyous occasion.
Absolutely. And if you don't want to crack packs but you're looking for specific cards, make sure you keep an eye out for them on Josh and Pat's MTG Bazaar. Oh, yeah. I want a box for my birthday. I'll see what's.
Just say that a little bit louder, and Jen might actually hear you in the background.
Yeah, no, she'll start asking me soon. What do you want? And I'll just tell her. So, yeah.
Very good. All right, so the last thing we wanted to go through tonight is a bit of an update on where we're at on the league. So, Cracker, how is your group tracking for actually getting finished off? Because we've only got, and we're recording this on Thursday evening, and it's
like 24
basically
hours
24
left.
hours right now for the league to finish off in the group stage. How's your group looking?
We're locked up, man. Group cracker's been done, been done since like Monday. So I can announce who the top 4 participants are for Group Cracker. It is Pejaw, Rolling Royce, Jedi's Walker, and Asbestos Mule.
Mm.
And Pejaw and Rolling Royce went 10-1.
Crushed it.
Each. Which didn't leave many wins for the rest of us.
Yeah.
And
very top heavy in your group.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. But interesting thing, Asbestos Mule, dude called Zach, who is actually one of Yan Ray's friends, and he only started playing Magic, like, at all, after heckling us at the Envy. He was one
really?
Of the people,
that's one of those people.
One of the people in our chat trolling us, saying that I should be called other things and stuff, just having a good time.
Ginger snaps, that's right.
Yeah. I was hoping no one would remember what that was. But yeah, he thought it looked really sweet, and obviously Yan Ray was encouraging him to play, and he did really well. Came along and just crushed a bunch of people. So
nice.
Congratulations. I look forward to heckling you on. Commentating some of your matches after you beat me to death with a mono red deck. So
yeah, very good.
And I think we've got like 2 or 3 matches left that need to be played. There's actually very few. We're almost done. So,
but they don't have any effect on the top 5 for Envy points or the top 4. They're actually going through to the finals. Yep. No, very good. Good work, and well done, Group Cracker. Stu's group, obviously Stu's not here tonight. Stu's group has 1 match left to play at time of recording, which is the grudge match between good mates Child Rebel Walker and Doc Hemsey. That's the only match to be played, and it's literally this match will determine the positioning of the top 5. I believe the people that are currently in the top 5 should stay in the top 5. So we've got the GOAT, who went 10-1 as well, another new person to our league. I believe they're from New Zealand, actually. Skips J, another new person. So we've got all these people coming in and crushing it. Hemsey, our sponsor, Pat, and then Child Rebel Walker sitting in the top 5.
Yeah, with Stu himself sitting at 6 as that buffer,
sitting
who's
in 6th.
not eligible for points. So
the top
5 looks pretty locked up.
Yeah, we might get, like, if Child Rebel Walker loses, so he ends up on 7-4 as well, there may be some tiebreakers that might drop him out, but we'll have to see once that match is played, which I think is getting played tonight, so that'll be good to see. How's your group going, Chewy? You think you've still got a little way to go?
These leagues are a marathon, not a sprint. So, there's some games.
True, they start as a sprint, there's a big lull in the middle, and there's a sprint at the end.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, peaks and troughs. We are the group with the most matches left to play, and I'm probably a culprit. I've got 4 matches left to play, but it's pretty much wide open. So K-pop Fanboy is 8-2, another new player. Pretty much locked in. Yanley 7-3, most likely to be locked in, I believe. The AV Cable, which is
Tom D,
who's a invitational competitor from last year, sitting at 6-2. And then there's this big glut fighting over 4th and 5th place. So there's Dead Zone and Plunksy on 6 wins, but then with so many other games left to play, So there's Arcturus, there's Matt, there's myself, there's Benny R, that are all still in contention if we manage to,
Well, even Lab Monkey, who's currently in 11th, I think if they win out, can jump to like maybe 5th.
Yep. So depending on how other things go, it's mathematically possible. Yeah.
There's always one of these groups, like it ends up happening this way, where you kind of end up with just a bunch of people sitting in the middle somewhere, and then like it comes down to this, like the last
we don't
few
have
hours
the 10
of the last
day and things like
yeah,
that.
Exactly.
So
nothing super top heavy.
Yeah, and trying to just build a bit of drama.
So just a bit of suspense.
Yeah. So I mean, good luck to everybody there. I did a bit of losing last night to help people along, and I'm one of the 7s in Yanley's 7-3 record. So yeah, it's and I'll probably play some games tomorrow after dinner before the closure, and maybe 1 or 2 tonight, and get them done. But wide open in Group Chewy.
Yep. Very good. And then my group is actually completely done. Every match has been played, and massive shout out to the people in my group. I did not have to chase down a single person to see if they were going to play their matches, which in leagues past has given me a bit of work to do. So yeah, good job. And I think that's been the same. We were saying this before the cast. Across the board, it's been very good to see people getting involved, playing their matches, and not needing us to chase them up to play. It just shows that people are actually enjoying it and having a good time. So keep it up. Hopefully we can keep that going through the rest of the leagues throughout the year. But yeah, we've ended up with Masonitas on top and Aragoth in second, both sitting on 8 and 3. So I had a sort of similar thing to you, Chewy, where I don't have anybody on amazing records. I'm pretty sure we're just waiting for the last match to be entered into the results, but I'm pretty sure I've ended up in third with Polywaffle in fourth, both on 7 and 4. And then that means our 2 invites will get passed down, which should get passed down to Squid Plays and J Mudd.
Oh, okay.
So I think J Mudd, depending on how the breakers all work out, I think J Mudd may be missing out on finals. I think he'll end up in 5th place, but is getting an invitational point. So that's going to be helpful for J Mudd, and I think he'll be a bit disappointed to not make finals again. But just get good, J Mudd. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day.
I mean, it's a simple equation, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Yep. So, yeah, our league will wrap up this week, and then we'll be kicking off into the group stage of the league wraps up this week. Then we kick off into the finals. So we're running top 16, so top 4 from each group qualifies for finals, and they're going into a double elimination bracket, which they're going to be playing the first or the early stages of that double elimination bracket over the next 2 weeks, to basically whittle down until we have 8 players remaining. Once we get to those 8 players remaining, we'll have some people in the losers bracket, or some people with 1 loss under their belt already. So they'll only have one more loss and they're out, and some people who've sort of won through and haven't taken a loss yet. So it'll set us up for a good place to start our actual finals coverage, where we've already got some storylines ready to go to talk about on our coverage. So the finals will be on Saturday, the 10th of April. So it's the weekend after Easter. And we haven't actually discussed this yet. We'll be talking about this after the cast, exactly how we're doing it and what time we're going to be kicking off, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, safe to say it's going to be a good event like it always is. There should be top-notch coverage and probably subpar commentary from our part. But the Magic play will likely be making up for how poor our commentary will be. And it should be good fun. And no doubt, as we always do, we'll have giveaways and various things going throughout the day. So keep that in your diary or in your calendar, or however you want to do it. Set a reminder for yourself. Saturday the 10th of April, going to be the best place to be watching some awesome Magic coverage on Twitch.
Might do a Facebook event so it pops up in people's faces.
That sounds like a good idea. Get a bit more exposure. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. It's been a good start to the year, and yeah, we'll be kicking off the next league. We'll announce that pretty soon, and we will hopefully have a 1-day event in between the end of this league and the next one as well. So
already had people
keep an eye out for all that.
pinging me about that. Like, when's the next historic event? The new Anthology's out. I want to play these cards. Let's go. So there's excitement about that, and people just want envy points. We all know. You can pretend you're excited about a new set. You just want envy points. I can see through you.
the more people that play, the more envy points that'll be up for grabs in those events as well.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
stack the field and crush and get a whole bunch.
Exactly.
Very good. So yeah, if you do want to get in on our future events, you've still got plenty of time this year to earn envy points and get there at the top of that ladder. But yeah, to do that, to get in on our events, the best place is to just come and join us in our Discord. So we talk about it every week. Awesome community in there, heaps of cool people. There's always chatter going on about all sorts of different stuff. Every format, well, we don't really talk too much about Vintage and Legacy, but most of the other formats there's chatter going on all the time. But if you want to get on our Discord and start talking about Legacy, if you start posting in that channel, there will be people who will respond to you, because there's definitely people out there that love those formats. So yeah, come and join us. It's great fun, and it's awesome for us to touch base with all these new people from all around the world. We've got people from everywhere. So the link for that is always in our show notes. So grab that link, join the Discord, and then that'll be the easiest way to be notified about our events. If you want to show us some support directly, you can go to our merch store. The link for that, again, is in the show notes. Pick yourself up some hoodies and t-shirts and all those sorts of things, so you can get around in your sweet Magic Beans gear. If you want to show some love to our sponsors, then jump on Facebook and search for Josh and Pat's MTG Bazaar and grab some bargains on their daily auctions. And then when you win, as the guys said, let them know that the beans sent you. You can find us on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, all of those places. Just search on there for Magic Beans Cast or Magic Beans Podcast, and you'll be able to find us. We're not super active on YouTube. We used to be, but mostly we just post random videos and our episodes. But get on there, give us a subscribe, and definitely follow us on Twitch so you know when we're going live for all these streams. We've been streaming a lot lately, at least once per week for the last few weeks, which is awesome. Sometimes 2 times a week, which is even better. If you want to find me on Twitter, I'm at Peace Inc. Chewy, you are? At Chewy MTG. And Cracker?
At JoelHill _.
Very good. So that's going to do us for this week. Stay safe out there, and we will see you all next time.